वेलकम बैक नाजरीन, आप देख रहे हैं प्रोग्राम कम्युनिटी सर्कल और मैं हूं आपका मेज़बान अंजू मलिक। हमारे साथ हैं रिचर्ड क्लार्क फ्रॉब एंड फिक्सल से। उनसे हमारी आज बात हो रही है इन रिगार्ड्स टू कंज्यूमर प्रपोजल्स और बैंक्रप्सी के हवाले से, और बड़ी मुफीद इन्फॉर्मेशन जो है वो आप तक पहुंचा रहे हैं। हम उनसे बात करते हैं, कुछ और क्वेश्चंस जो हमारे जहन में हैं, और hope that you will benefit from that as well. Richard, earlier we were just talking before the break in regards to consumer proposals and bankruptcies. Let's go and talk about a little bit about the time frames. What are the time frames when people come in and file for consumer proposals versus a bankruptcies? What does the term mean, discharge of certain amount of months? And let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Okay, well, let's start. The good thing about both the consumer proposal process and the bankruptcy process is it's a little bit like the medicines they advertise on TV. You do get instant relief. The trustee can likely file either within, if you want it done quickly, the same day or within a couple of days, at which point there's a stay of proceedings. Your creditors can't pursue you anymore until the process is over.
So it means all those harassment phone calls will stop.
They should stop.
Okay.
Yes, but if the trustee can send them a stay of proceedings, if they persist, you can contact, I think it's Consumer and Corporate Affairs. They change their names all the time, but the Provincial Registrar of Collection Agencies and so on, and they can stop it for you.
Okay. Okay.
Or
So there's a
call your
procedure for
lawyer.
that, basically.
Sorry?
So once the letter's been sent to them, then those creditors will stop calling these people. They would know that this gentleman has filed a consumer proposal or he's in bankruptcy.
Exactly. As a practical matter, if it's credit card debt, the banks all have a process to deal with that. It goes off to the department that deals with it, and the harassment stops.
Okay, let's talk about bankruptcies now in detail. And we're going to come back, we're going to talk about rebuildings of credits and those kind of questions that I have in my mind. So let's talk about a little bit about what assets are protected for someone when he filed for bankruptcy.
Okay. The tools of the trade, to the extent of, I believe it's $10,000 now.
Okay.
A car up to $5,000 if it's necessary as a tool of the trade. If you
Okay.
need it for your business, not just if you need it to get to work. Normally you can work something out with a trustee anyway, because your car's unlikely to be worth too much. It's worth more to you than the trustee. You can pay something to keep the car.
Okay.
RRSPs, this is a relatively recent amendment to the Bankruptcy Act. I think it was 2009.
Okay.
Now you get to keep your RRSPs except for contributions within the year prior to bankruptcy.
All right. What about your house and your other personal effects, like your jewelry, your diamonds, ornaments?
Again, personal effects are exempt up to a certain limit. The practicalities are the trustee's not coming to take the dog or your clothes or your furniture. If you happen to own a diamond worth $20,000 or $30,000, then yes, the trustee's going to have at least a serious look at that, and you're probably going to lose it. I haven't seen many bankrupts with diamonds.
Okay.
So the other thing is, I guess we've covered it. We did the
What is the process? What was the time involved in filing a bankruptcy and then get discharged by it?
Okay, well, as I said, they can file it within a day or two.
Okay.
Get you the stay of proceedings. If you're a first-time bankrupt and you don't have surplus income, which I'll explain in a minute, you get an automatic discharge in 9 months,
Okay.
unless some creditor opposes it or the trustee opposes it. If you do your duties, then you're likely to be out in 9 months. You don't go to court, you don't hear anything, it's just bang, the trustee issues the certificate in 9 months.
Now, let me ask a question there. When you say that you get discharged in 9 months,
Yes.
how long would that still be shown on the credit bureaus of Canada with Equifax or Trans-Canada unions that you were bankrupt? How long would it stay there?
We had a meeting with Equifax and with TransUnion, I think it is. And they apparently purged their files after 6 years.
So for 6 years, it will still show that you were bankrupt.
Yes, or that you made a consumer proposal. One of the things that I disagree with the credit reporting is they rate the consumer proposal as the same level, I think it's R6, as a bankruptcy. And I
Would
think
that be an R9 bankruptcy?
it may be R9 or
R9.
something. And yeah, they're on the same level, and they shouldn't be. If you've made a proposal and you've made a deal with creditors and paid it, you should have a better credit rating.
So
in my view.
can somebody, when he get discharged from the bankruptcy, can he get a secured credit card and he can start rebuilding himself?
Yeah, I think you can get a secured credit card while you're actually in bankruptcy.
Okay.
It's like a debit card. If you've got the money in the bank, they'll give it to you.
Okay.
You're not supposed to have a bank account, but I think most people do in this day and age, and the trustees aren't jumping on it unless it's got a lot of money in the bank account.
Okay, okay. So with your company, do you guys have any evolved process where once people have gone through the discharge, that there is a rebuilding process?
That's up to them. They don't need me to help them rebuild. If they have a problem after, example, student loans or harassment from somewhere else, then come and see me. Or if there's something they can't solve, but they can normally do it on their own. There's not a lot you can do about the credit record. The record's there.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about people who file bankruptcies on the personal side versus on their businesses. Let's differentiate that a little bit.
Okay, well, the bankruptcy businesses, for example, if they're in a small retail store or a restaurant, quite often it will be incorporated. However, the first thing they do to finance when things get tough is use the employee source deductions and the HST that they should be sending to the government. They also will have personally guaranteed bank loans or other guarantees. The problem, the business probably isn't worth going bankrupt, so it just kind of dries up and blows away. But the guarantees get called, the government comes along for the director's liabilities, and they have to go personally bankrupt in that circumstance.
So if somebody have filed a bankruptcy on the business side, would he be affected on a personal side as well?
Yes, if you had those issues.
You will be affected.
Yes. Well, yeah, if there's any of those items. The practicalities are most people are affected.
Because there are times that the banks will give you money on the existing businesses, and they won't take your personal collateral, like personal guarantees on that loan. It will be just a business loan on a business. But would that affect in a bankruptcy on a personal side as well?
Not too much, but I almost never see unguaranteed loans with banks with smaller debtors. It happens occasionally. I think it results in unemployed bank managers.
What is that one valuable tip that you would like to give out to our viewers who are watching you tonight, that what do they need to do if they fell into this trap of debt, and how to go about that?
Go and see a reputable trustee or get some legal advice. If you think you may have done something wrong, see the lawyer first. We give you confidential advice. We have solicitor and client privilege. Nobody can take us to court and ask what you told us. Trustees, anything you tell them, they have to report. And debt consultants, well, they have to tell too if they're asked under oath. So we're the only confidential one.
Okay. And one very important question, that all these consultations that the consumers have with you, they're all discreet and they're one-to-one and they're very secured?
Yes,
when they
absolutely.
come and talk to you?
Yeah.
So it means like you don't even talk to their husband, daughter, husband, or kids, or anybody like that. If somebody come and talk to you personally about that, that's just you and him. It won't involve their families, or families do get involved into the process of the filing.
Only if they want. If they want to bring their spouse or somebody else, they're certainly welcome. But I'm not going to tell them. I won't
Okay.
breathe a word to a soul. I won't even tell the dog.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we covered. Is there any particular more thing that you want to say? I know we have a lot of other things to talk about. That what are the other things that bite people, and we're going to talk about in our other segment. But before we go to the other segment, is there any message that you have in mind that you want to put out?
I think we've pretty well covered it for now. Use your professionals. Use the lawyer if you think you need them. The trustee, if you think that'll be good enough. The trustee will tell you if you need a lawyer too. At least most of them will.
थैंक यू रिचर्ड नाज़रीन ये थे हमारे साथ रिचर्ड और नेक्स्ट वीक हमारे साथ दोबारा होंगे हम इनसे फर्दर बात करेंगे कुछ और पहलू के ऊपर जो कि एसोसिएटेड है बैंकरप्सीज और कंज्यूमर प्रपोजल्स के हवाले से तब तक आप मेरे साथ रहिएगा जब तक मुझे इजाज़त दीजिए आई विल बैक टू यू नेक्स्ट वीक कीप ऑन वाचिंग टीवी इन कैनेडा एंड आई एम योर होस्ट अंजू मलिक साइनिंग ऑफ खुदा हाफिज़